Thank you, Brian. And right now we're joined by NGXB. We're going to talk about what that means in just a second. Yeah. He plays the piano, he's an arranger and a social media influencer, and he loves to give the rock and roll experience on all the 88 piano keys. And the best part is he's kicking off his tour at Illinois Central College tonight. So we'll talk about that as well. Plenty to talk about today. Welcome, NGXB.
How's it going? Thank you very much for having me here.
Of course, yeah, we're excited to hear about just all that you do. It sounds like you're a bit of a triple threat, so.
Yeah, I just try to do as much as I can at any time possible. So.
That's awesome. So
yeah.
I know the big question for a lot of people at home, especially me as well, what does this mean, NGXB?
No, yeah, so my full name is Nicholas George Xavier Blum, which is where I get the initials from. It originally started off as an Xbox Live gamer tag, and then my one friend started calling me it in middle school, and I was like,
that's so
that
funny.
flows. And I was the one kid that always wrote my full name on homework assignments, tests, and everything. Then I started writing the initials, and some teachers were like, what's this? And I was like, that's me. Then it became my nickname throughout high school, and then eventually had it trademarked, and it's what I go by professionally now.
I love that. That's so cool. You know, I should have guessed that it was your initials, but I had no idea what it could be. So
no, yeah, and
that's really cool.
That's what I love to do is when people are looking at it, it's not something that you see every day. And so when it's like, what's this? It's me. So.
That is so cool, and I love the backstory behind it. That's really really unique and just really cool. Speaking of cool things, you play the piano.
Yes.
And you bring a bit of a rock and roll experience to the piano, right?
No, yeah. So my dad has a degree in classical piano, and so he's been teaching me since I was 4, and I received a degree in jazz in 2020.
Wow.
But I grew up listening to Motley Crue, Kiss, Guns N' Roses, Queen, and I've always wanted to be like a rock star, but always playing all the piano and more of the having that classical influence.
Right.
Eventually, throughout college, I just said, oh, what if I started making arrangements of rock songs, but with that virtuosic technique to it, stuff that like Liberace would do, and Franz Liszt and all those other classical pianists, and then I started making arrangements, and here we are now.
That is so cool. Wow, I can't even, like, I would never think to do that, you know, like take a classical instrument like the piano and then couple it with, you know, rock and roll and that style of music.
Yeah, one thing I was just naturally, just me as a person and just personality-wise always stood out, and I'm like, now I have to do it musically, and so just trying to include my personality within the music, and then it's one thing led to another, and fortunately I stuck out at an art university in Philadelphia, so that's definitely a good sign, and then one thing led into another, and it's what I get to do every day for my life, and I love it.
And now you're going on tour, right?
Yeah, so I have a show tonight at the ICC Performing Arts Center at 7:30 p.m. And then next week I will actually be in Las Vegas for the 10th anniversary of the Nobu Tower at Caesar's Palace on the Vegas Strip.
Wow.
So and I love it all, so it's very, very fun, and more opportunities are lining up throughout the year and in the future. I'm very excited. That's
you got an exciting future ahead, so we're looking forward to seeing all that you do and all the places you go. I mean, Vegas, that's a big stop.
Oh yeah, it's not my first time there, so fortunately the first few times were for fun, and a few months ago I went out to a concert to see Bruno Mars.
Nice.
Went up, had a few meetings, and it worked out, and that's how I'm doing it next week. So
that is awesome.
All worked out perfectly.
It really did. I'm excited for you, and just best of luck in all your future shows and all your endeavors, and keep us posted on how you're doing.
Absolutely, and thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming in, NGXB, and of course, again, he's performing tonight at Illinois Central College. You don't want to miss it, but stick with us. We'll be right back.
Woo!